Good afternoon. You're in the back room with Becky, and it is Thickalicious Thursday. Um, wow, so much has gone down between yesterday and today. Um, got a few views, no responses, no comments at least, about the BBW dating and the new millennium. And what I wanted to say to you was that, you know, it would be extra super calorless, fragilisticexpialidocious if people didn't see size and we could just say it's about the faces. Because let me tell you, if you go through my playlist, you will see a documentary of some of the most beautiful full figure models in the world. Okay. Now, I took issue with the fact that they said this is about faces. Um, might have been her title. It just was like a left-handed compliment. So, I went back as I'm prone to do and gave comment to her comment. And I think she was really rude, when somebody comes to my page and, if you're not getting comments because you're stamping up everybody that comes to your channel, then, people can be viewing, but you're not getting any feedback. That's all good for some, but I wanted to have a healthy exchange of dialogue with intellectually inclined people or people who were just open-minded and wanted to learn more about different things. When I always say, can we share? That's what I mean. Um, I go to everybody, I'm not everybody's channel, but, they have common interests or things. I go to their site, I read about them, I listen to their video blogs, and, that's all well and good, but I want to say this. Uh, the efforts that we make to communicate in this country are limited because we all come with our predisposed um, judgment. And that means that when we're approaching people, 9 times out of 10, we've already arrived at some conclusion or decision about them. And that being, that we're overly sensitive, you know. Well, that's the same thing y'all tell the black people. You're overly sensitive. It's not at all about race. Oh, it's not at all about self-image or body image. The hell it ain't. If you say somebody got a beautiful face, you just negated the other 90% of their body. So excuse me, I beg to differ, homegirl. That was a dig. That was not a compliment. Now, being that you are expressing yourself, of course you have the right to do so. I will be taking you out of my rotation though, because I think your attitude is stank. The video is excellent, people. There's no dialogue. I mean, you can tell it was done with a low budget. Who am I to say that? You in your back room. And I call it Becky in the back room, too. Okay? So let's just keep it rolling. One thing about YouTube and Twitter, if you have any narcissistic tendencies, they will come out. Now, somebody asked me the other day, they said, ooh, you so quick-tempered and I'm passionate. There's a difference in being a hothead and being passionate. I'm Caribbean, I'm African, I'm Caucasian, and my people are from the South. Now, I don't know if people know anything about, uh, you know, regional customs, colloquialisms, and vernacular. That's the whole purpose of exploring YouTube. Is let's listen and see what somebody else from somewhere else had to say and see how they said it. And that everything has a different connotation depending on where you live. See, when I walk down the street and a brother's yelling at me, he's not yelling to insult me. He's trying to get my attention so he can holler. In California, if they hollering at you, they saying some old crazy shit like, put that ice cream down. You shouldn't be eating that. I was like, see, I can't stay out here because I would be done, busting a cap on somebody just coming from the Baskin Robbins. It's not your business. I know I'm plump. I was born this way. No, I wasn't weighing whatever I'm weighing now when I came out of my mother's womb. But statistically, I was in the top 100%. I was in the top 10 percentile for birth weight. So, there's genetics, all these other things, besides the fact that I have a respiratory and an arthritic condition, and I have to take steroids. So, I'm big, I'm beautiful. What about it? You don't like it? Stay off my channel. Boom. I love me. I love to see big, beautiful women shining in their fashion and stomping that runway, dancing on the dance floor, or wrapped around some handsome man. And I like to look on women's faces now when they see you with just a fine specimen of a man. And they have the audacity to look at you funny and say, how did she get him? It is the curve of my back and the thickness of my thighs that does hypnotize my lover's eyes. So you see, one man's junk is another man's jewelry and treasure. And I'll never tell anybody I got junk in the trunk because everything about me is jewel. I am a priceless jewel made by a divine being who doesn't make junk and doesn't make mistakes. That's why he made Chihuahuas and Saint Bernards. Get back on the porch, puppy. If you're not ready to accept full figure people, that's all right. You probably don't accept black people either, or Latino people either, or gay people either. And so, the narrow minded need not apply. Now, for our miserable mention, anybody notice that it got real? It's got real quiet around Charlie Sheen's camp. I'm going to come back with something tonight, but I'm just really not, I'm starting to feel better, but I want to press it. I just got my voice back, and I have been missing choir rehearsals for probably 2 or 3 weeks. I'm going to bust something for y'all tonight. It's Thickalicious Thursday. Let's appreciate the thickness in our life. If you have a thick relative, someone that you work with, take time out every now and then and tell them, you're looking good today. You looking extremely well. Would you like to walk with me after lunch? Instead of all this, I'm so sick of these drugs and different stuff they give you to mess up your body. People going and cutting parts of their body out. Star Jones went and lost all that weight, had that surgery, looking like a bobblehead. Her and Monique both. I'm sorry. I love you. I love you. You guys have been my role models. I'm a little bit more mature than you, but still, when I saw Nell Carter back in the day. Now that she was a super plus size woman. So, I never very seldom saw them give her a love role. But, BBW's on TV is changing, but it's not changing enough. But there's so many on that spectrum who are not getting properly represented. We dare not just act a fool just because, they don't have a token fat girl on there. Or if they do, she's very stereotypical. She always eating. She stay home every night. She don't have no dates. Don't have no style. That is some bullshit. Okay? That is the bullshit. That's why I do what I do. I'm working on it. I'm working on scripts and short stories. I have a book to be published. Diary of a BBW. Get ready. I know this has been like, I feel like I've been carrying a baby for a year because our due date to release was December 2010. And because my story is part autobiographical, when we start doing some initial marketing, just very informally, we found, I look, I confess that I have had many, 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 many lovers in my life. Okay, I'm not no teenager. I'm not gonna sit up here and say it's only been 2 men in my whole life. Numbers is not that thing. It's about the experience. So various people start popping up and claiming this character was them and yada yada woo woo. So I got to get releases now, and that is a whole nother beast. In the meanwhile, I've already started working on book 2. So what you see me doing in an amateur arena, this is my personal daily diary. It don't have nothing to do with me trying to break into the networks or anything like that, please. I would not work for some of those people. Mm-mm. And when I get ready to do my show, as they say, with a proper set and lighting and microphones, and look, keep it simple, make it fun. You've been in the back room with Becky, and we're talking about BBW's love and misunderstanding for the people.